Welcome to today's video. So today we're going to be doing a Yule log for winter solstice. This is my first year celebrating a Yule specifically with my family. Last year I did a few small things to celebrate myself, but this year is my first year actually celebrating Yule. So I've done a few things to prepare and get ready for the celebrations this year, and one of which we are doing is this Yule log. So again, I have referenced learnreligions.com, which I will include the link below, that I've gone over to kind of give me an idea of what I want to do for my Yule log. I'm taking some of the information that I've gathered and then also improvising a little bit and using my intuition and what feels right for me to create this Yule log today. So if you'd like to create a Yule log, you can certainly follow what I'm doing here today, or as I'm doing, you can also improvise and kind of create your own style for yourself to celebrate. So we're going to be using our Yule log to burn for the winter solstice, which is tomorrow. So we're not actually going to be burning our log, as we have had some snow where I live and we're not able to have a fire, unfortunately. So as you see here, I have some candles that I'll be attaching to the log. Now the log isn't super big because it is going to be more of a centerpiece in our home, but we're going to decorate it, and we're going to use the candles and attach the candles and put some sigils and stuff like that on the candles, and then burn the candles tomorrow for winter solstice, the longest night of the year. So aside from the candles, I have some color correspondence, red, green, and then white, because I didn't have any other colors. So we're using those. I've got some cinnamon. I harvested this log, and I believe it's cedar, but don't quote me on that. We have some pine and some fir that I've harvested as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to use these, but I do have some dried oranges that I dried with my kids a couple weeks ago. And then we have some pine cones, and that's pretty much it. I also have this little decoration that I purchased at the dollar store, which I might use some of these to just make it a little bit more festive. But I guess we'll see as we go along. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So I'm just going to be arranging some of this on the bottom as like a base to set the Yule log on, and then I'm also going to probably put some little small pieces on the actual log itself. So if this is your first time celebrating Yule and you'd like to learn a little bit more, I'm going to link the Yule episode that I did on my podcast, Rosemary by the Bucketful, with my co-host Lancel. We go over a little bit about Yule and some of the different traditions and religions / cultures that I've celebrated throughout the years, and some of the overlap and some of the ways that we celebrate. So if you're interested, you can definitely check that out as well. So again, as I said, for the Yule log, it's going to be unique to you. So of course the items that you use and the correspondences are going to be what you're looking to incorporate into the coming year, the calendar year, and what you would like to release or bring in for winter solstice. Another alternative to candles, if you're not able to burn candles and if you're not able to have a fire where you would burn your log, is to use flameless candles. And I use these around the house, especially where I have pets and small children. So these are wonderful, and they're just battery operated that you can get at the dollar store. So that's a great alternative if you're not able to use actual candles. So that's going to be kind of the idea. Simply, it's very, very simple, very basic. If you want to, you can glue the log to the trees. I don't know if I'm going to, because I'm going to probably return most of this to the earth after the solstice. So I don't think I'm going to actually glue the log to these, and I don't know if I'm actually going to glue anything to the log today, to be completely honest. Well, we'll see. That's huge. Look at the size of that. Also, the log itself, if you are cutting it, please be very careful. I sawed this down to the size that I wanted and ended up cutting myself. And I'm probably gonna have to go get a tetanus shot, so please just be careful if you are cutting it, and if you're not able to, don't worry about it, honestly. I cut and sanded mine just basically for the aesthetic. It's not necessary. You can use just a raw piece of wood. So I'm incorporating the oranges for to honor the sun, because if you might not be aware, but the solstice is the longest night, and then after the solstice it is the welcoming of the sun back into our lives. So it's about rebirth and renewal and welcoming the sun back. So I'm using the oranges as representation of that, but also as representation of joy and abundance and prosperity, because that's also something that they represent. So what I'm actually going to do with these longer candles is cut them down to the same size as the white candles so that they're not huge. So again, everything I'm using has an intention and a purpose in this display, or for my Yule log. So just be mindful of the ingredients that you use and make sure that you're using them for a purpose. Give them their job. This is not necessarily a spell, but I still like to be intentional with what I do and the ingredients that I use. And just let them know like what they're representing, and it just makes it more solidified in my consciousness, if that makes sense. So I'm going to place some of these cinnamon sticks throughout as well. I think they look really pretty with the orange and these little, I think they're cranberries. And lastly, I need to trim my candles. And also, if you're going to be using real candles, please be mindful of fire safety. Make sure if you're attaching the candles to the log that they are securely attached. Do not leave it burning unattended or near something that is flammable. Now this stuff can absolutely catch fire, so I will not be leaving this unattended, and I will make sure that the candles are properly secured to the log. Otherwise, if that's not something that you can do, I suggest maybe getting some candle holders and placing them around it or in, so that they're secure and they won't fall over or catch anything on fire. So that's going to go like that. But that's perfect. Now, one thing I will mention is if you want to, if you feel it's necessary, you can cleanse the items before you make your arrangement. I don't feel like that's necessary. Okay, so this is the Yule log. It was fairly simple and quick. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you make a Yule log, you can tag me on Instagram at The Witch from the North. Also, make sure that you follow me on Instagram at The Witch from the North. If you liked the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. I'll include all of the information that you need to make your own Yule log in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye!